broadcasting intimate details and useless information from an undisclosed location in New York City. The Last Show with David Cooper.
Who doesn't love predicting the future, especially when nerd culture is involved? Well, Kurtis Smejkal from the Three Angry Nerds podcast is here to hopefully make some bold, reckless, maybe accurate, maybe inaccurate predictions for 2026. Kurtis, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, David.
So what are some of the biggest nerd culture trends that are going on right now before we jump into what the future may hold for us? I'm a bit of a closet nerd, I'm not going to lie.
Hey, that's totally fine. There's a lot of people like that. I think right now you're seeing a lot of video game adaptations. That's kind of the big thing right now. The Last of Us, which is on Crave, is doing quite well. Then you got stuff like the Minecraft movie, which was like the top grossing movie of last year. And then you also have stuff like the Super Mario Brothers movie, which also made over $1 billion. So
we can't forget Fallout. I mean, I had someone on the show the other day who's like a cool comedian who I did not think of a nerd at all. And she's obsessed with Fallout. These shows are entering the mainstream. I think a lot of people don't even realize their video game origins.
Yeah, and I think, you got Zach Krager, who's making a Resident Evil movie, which is coming out this summer. And I think, more studios are going to start going, well, what of these properties do we have? What video game properties do we have access to? What can we play around with? And what can we use to make movies and TV shows with? So I think we're already in the midst of that, but I think you're going to start to see more of those as time goes on.
Okay. Any ones that you're particularly excited about for this year?
The Resident Evil movie I'm particularly excited for. I really enjoy the games. We've got a new game coming out in February, and then, of course, they've got the movie that's coming out, I believe, in September of this year. So, Resident Evil, it's a horror game franchise. It lends itself well to cinematic movie storytelling. Zach Krager is fresh off of Weapons, which did quite well this year, was quite a popular movie. So, I think people low-key don't know that movie's coming. The studio hasn't done a lot of work to promote it, put out trailers or anything, but I think as we get closer to September, people go, oh, the guy that made Weapons is making a Resident Evil movie? Oh, okay, cool. I'm going to have to start paying attention.
Can we talk about how we're in the golden age of Star Trek right now? It feels like it's the 90s again when we had Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Next Generation. Nowadays, we got Lower Decks, we got Discovery, we got Strange New Worlds, and we got this new Star Trek coming called Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Are you a Trekker? Sorry, not a Trekkie, a Trekker. That is what we call ourselves.
Yeah, I have watched some of the shows, but I think I even have lost track of how many new shows there are. So, I've watched a few of them. They're of varying quality. Some are better than others, but if anything, you have your wealth of Star Trek content to choose from nowadays.
Cool. Well, Starfleet Academy, I think it's dropping this month. It's where all the captains and all the officers go to train is where it's set.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge gamer, but there are those among us that are. Any game stuff in the future for us?
There are some good games coming. I think the biggest one is going to be GTA 6. Famously on my podcast, one of my co-hosts says that he's convinced that's not coming out 2026, it's coming out in 2126. I'm a little more optimistic than he is because the game has been delayed a number of times, but yeah, it is supposed to be coming out this fall. I think somebody said that the game costs more to make than the Burj Khalifa.
That's the tower in Dubai, the highest building in the world? That can't be true. Come on.
Apparently so. I haven't fact checked that as well as I should have, but yeah, apparently that's the case. So, I think, GTA games are kind of the ones where, yes, the core gamers are going to play it, but there's a lot of people who are just casual gamers who maybe don't play a lot, who just really enjoy those games. And those games, even GTA 5, the last one that came out in closer to the earlier 2010s. And it's still one of the top selling games. And that's nearly 15 years later. So, if people are sleeping on how much money GTA is going to make and how popular it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be a very startling fall when that game drops and you start to see all your friends disappearing to play this game.
I wonder if Rockstar Games, the creator of the GTA series, I wonder if they're taking a page out of Nintendo's book, where Nintendo famously will not put out games, often disappointing fans, until they're quote-unquote ready. And what does ready mean? Until Nintendo thinks that they're fully enjoyable to play. They don't really care about release dates. And Nintendo is extremely successful. So I do wonder if Rockstar, is it just a delay, or are they doing it the Nintendo way, making sure the game is great?
A good game is a good game, but a bad game is a bad game forever. It's better to take your time because, I mean, smoothing out those details, fixing minor issues and bugs. Yes, somebody may have to wait 6 extra months to play that game, but I mean, it's going to save that studio and that game a whole lot of conversations that are maybe gearing towards negative conversations just to take that 6 months. So I say take your time, do what you need to do, because I'd rather it be good and it be something that I want to play and something that I'm enjoying playing rather than those bugs and other issues weighing things down.
And in terms of tech, I'm talking like VR headsets, new types of controllers, haptics, weird stuff that we wouldn't consider gamers to use in their house. Do you see any new tech changes for video gaming in the near future?
Oddly enough, I think the hardware sales for gaming have actually dipped. They're actually at the lowest they've been at since 1995. I do think where people are going to maybe migrate to is this more PC central ecosystem. So Steam, Valve, the company that kind of makes Half-Life, and they also sell a bunch of PC games, they're actually coming out with their own console this year. And it's basically just a very stripped down PC that basically you can plug into your TV and play games on there. But that taps into your existing Steam infrastructure in your account. So games that you maybe got on Steam back in 2006 or 2010 or whatever, those are all games that you can play on this Steam machine that's coming out. So I think that's where you're going to see people go to, is this idea of having like freedom of their gaming. You can just go and have access to all these games and play them on your TV. So that's, I think, where people are going to go on the hardware side of things. I just don't think VR has really been making that much of a dent. Sony did come out with a new VR headset, and it just did not sell. It actually has been going on sale quite a bit because at this point, I think Sony's just trying to get rid of it at this point. But yeah, I think hardware is a bit of a tricky thing because people are a little more cautious of where they spend $800-ish on.
I see people like online and videos and companies hyping up their 3D headsets, but I can't think of a single friend that has one except for this one dude that I know that keeps it on his nightside table, and I worry what he does with it. But that's a conversation for another day. Any hot takes or any predictions for next year that are controversial that you might have?
I mean, in terms of video games, I do think that Resident Evil Requiem is going to be probably the better game than GTA. I know a lot of people are excited for GTA, but Resident Evil Requiem is out in February, and I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to do quite well, but oftentimes the games that come out in February oftentimes get forgotten about when people start thinking of what games were really good in November and December. Not necessarily because of the quality of the games, but because they just get forgotten about. So I'm low-key hoping that people will remember Resident Evil Requiem when it comes out, closer to November, December. We had Monster Hunter Wilds that came out this year, and it was a really great game, but by time December hit, people had already forgotten it had come out. And in terms of movies, I mean, I think there's stuff out there that's coming up. You've got Odyssey from Christopher Nolan and other stuff, and I think that's going to do quite well. I think those movies are going to rekindle maybe some love at the box office and get some people to come see more movies. So we'll see what happens.
I love Tenet. No one else seemed to like it. You can watch it in forward and reverse, and it's still just as confusing. But that's, I guess, the most recent Christopher Nolan movie. They're all pretty good. Well, Kurtis, thanks for joining me. You can hear Kurtis Smejkal on the Three Angry Nerds podcast. Kurtis, again, I appreciate you coming here.
Thanks for having me.
The world is changing. From the misuse of AI and the rise of deepfakes to the dangerous spread of misinformation, It's getting harder for Canadians to separate fact from fiction. That's why having a trustworthy news source is vital. At Global News, we're committed to objective journalism that cuts through the noise. Stick to the facts. Global News, Canada's trusted news.